Hey everyone, it's Brian. I can't wait to share this with you. Am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law that she has been dead to us and she will forever stay that way? Wait till we get into this one. My name is Sally. I am a 32-year-old female, and my husband, Jim, he's 33. We've been married now for 3 years. Ever since we started dating, my mother-in-law, Kathy, would make digs at both me and my relationship with Jim. The very first day I met her, she asked where I was from, and then when I answered, she replied, "Oh, we don't like people from there." As the years went on, she would make digs at Jim for buying me flowers, make fun of our dates, etc. For events, she would try to exclude me by saying it was family only. Now, whenever Jim and I would take trips, she would call and text Jim saying things like, "Why have you not checked in on me?" or making up emergencies. Jim would always excuse her behavior to me because, in his words, he was used to her abuse. Now, after 3 years of me and Jim dating, she started being nicer to me. We were not friends, but at least her negative comments stopped. I thought this was weird, but didn't question it because I hated all of the drama. Now, let's skip ahead to when we got engaged. It was the most amazing proposal, and we were so excited to tell everyone. Now, when we told Kathy, she gave me a dirty look, then went to Jim and said, "Why did you not tell me?" Jim and I were very low contact with Kathy after that. We would still talk to and see Kathy, but it was not as often as it used to be. Once Jim and I started planning our wedding, Kathy started to send paragraphs of hate messages to both me and Jim, saying things like, "Nobody likes Sally," and "You are selfish for planning a wedding when you know I'm not on board with it." Jim finally had enough and told her that if she continued, we would be going no contact. Now, Kathy then decided to go to her side of the family, spreading lies and even fake text messages to make myself and Jim look bad. Jim and I decided to block Kathy on everything. And in the months following, Jim's whole family was turned against him based on the things Kathy made up and told to them. Accompanied by her proof of her fake text, Jim's family decided that they would not come to our wedding. After the wedding, it came out that Kathy lied about everything. Jim's sister realized that some things Kathy made up did not make sense and figured it out. Then it spread to the rest of the family that they were lied to by Kathy. A few of them came begging for Jim's forgiveness, but it's hard to repair that betrayal for Jim. Since the wedding, we have been no contact with Kathy up until I saw her at the store. She came up to me trying to make conversation, and I looked her in the eyes and told her, "Let me be clear. You have been dead to me and Jim for 3 years. That will never change, so never speak to me again." She started to tear up and left the area where we were standing in. Ever since this, Jim's family has been calling and texting him saying I was too harsh and an a-hole and that we should forgive Kathy because she'd made a mistake, and that was 3 years ago. So am I the a-hole? I'd sure like to know. Guys, this next story up. Am I the a-hole for excluding my mom's stepdaughter from my baby shower? This is Brian, and we are going to jump right in because it's a good one. Now, I'll be referring to the stepdaughter is Mary. I say stepdaughter in quotes because my mom and her fiance are not married and have no plans of marrying each other anytime soon. Now, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I'm having a baby shower for my second child. My mom and I were discussing RSVPs, and she said, "I'll be there, and so will my fiance, Mary." I reminded her it was just girls who will be there, and she said she forgot, but that it will be her and Mary. Now, I explained to her that I want her to be there for sure, but unfortunately, Mary is going to have to stay with her dad. My mom asked if it was a kid-free baby shower and if my 4-year-old daughter will be there. I said, yes, she'll be there. No, it isn't child-free, but explained to her that Mary has been mean to my daughter in the past. Every single time Mary is around my daughter, she is snatching from her, pushing her, and just being mean. They're the same age, but Mary is clearly not being disciplined at home, and I don't want to be worrying about whether or not my daughter is being bullied at the baby shower. Now, my mom said Mary is 4 years old and doesn't know any better. I said she should know better. My 4-year-old doesn't go around pushing and being mean to children all the time. And if she does that behavior, it is corrected and it stops. Now, my mom took offense to this. I tried to keep the conversation short and said Mary is not allowed to come. I think I'm being reasonable, but my mom says that I'm being unreasonable and unwelcoming to family. She says that she will keep an eye on Mary to make sure it doesn't happen, but I don't even allow my mom to have my daughter alone since she's with Mary and her fiance, because there have been times where I've seen Mary shove my daughter into the pool, once into a ball pit, and just randomly snatching toys from her and being mean, and my mom doesn't do anything until I say something myself. Then says how she doesn't know any better. My mom says she wants to bring Mary regardless, or she might just have to send a present to my home and not come. Now, I have friends and family siding with me, saying I'm being reasonable for not wanting to have the stress about Mary interacting with my daughter at the shower, but family was siding with my mom too, and saying I should just invite Mary so my mom can come to the shower. And they've also said I just can't keep Mary and my daughter separated. So am I the a-hole? Well, this next story up, am I the a-hole for refusing to make my son go on a camping trip after his stepdad and uncle told he had no choice? I share custody of a moody, emotionally cranky 11-year-old boy with his mom. I am very mindful and respectful that he's hitting puberty and give him space and his boundaries. Now, 1 minute, he'll give you the death stare for being in the same room, and the next minute, he'll want to play fight because he knows I'm going to hug and kiss him. Right now, Ethan's going through a phase where he doesn't allow any adult relatives to post any pictures or videos of him on their social media account. The expectation is if you're between the ages of 14 and 25 and doing something fun, it's not cool. That was mom and stepdad love posting pictures of their family all the time. Ethan told them not to post pictures of him. His stepdad told him not to post family pictures without him is like letting him not shower and brush his teeth. It's sort of required. My son explained to me, and I said I'm not getting involved with how they run their home. Now to me, it's not a hill worth dying over. Ethan let them know how he felt. I had Ethan all week, and he goes back to his mom's on Saturday. He refuses to go back because he doesn't want to go to the family Labor Day camping trip where he'll be photographed. I asked my son if this was really worth fighting over, and he believed so. I spoke to his mom, and she thought it was ridiculous. I said I agree, but this is just some weird tween boy power trip thing, so just promise not to take his picture. She refused. Now Ethan refuses to go on the trip. Now last night his stepdad and maternal uncle called him separately. Both times resulted in Ethan crying. They basically told him that he was wrong and he was going. That pissed me off. I called them both up and said my custody issue with this mom is none of their business. I agree it's stupid and a compromise could have been met. Now that you all inserted yourself into this matter, I have no choice but to let him stay here if he wants. His mom was mad at me. I told her just drop it. You can take him for a few extra days when you get back. The situation has got way too dramatic. It's not like he doesn't want to go back because he has to clean his room. He has to know that his stepdad and uncle are not calling the shots too. She is furious at me and saying I'm encouraging bad behavior by letting him stay here. Ironically, I'm way more strict than she is. Update, this has nothing to do with taking his picture. He loves having his picture taken with the older kids or the younger adults because he thinks it makes him look cool. Anything to do with older people makes him feel like he's 5. Next up on this next story, am I the a-hole for telling my husband that he can divorce me if he doesn't want me to sleep with others? My husband cheated on me. He begged me to stay and to go to counseling, and that's what we have been doing for 2 months now. I think I'm still in shock, honestly. He said he would do anything just if we could stay together. On our latest session, I told him with the therapist present that I will never sleep with him again, that she could have him, and that I will have sex with other men. He will not know when or where or with whom. If he doesn't want to live like this, he can divorce me. He started crying and saying that I was unfair, which is ironic because he started this. He says it is not the same. Update. I also made a group chat between me and all his friends and all his colleagues. She is a colleague and told her her name. I just want you to know that I'm grateful for you for showing my husband's true colors. He is all yours now. Congratulations for winning such a prize. Another update, I will not be sleeping with others. I just told him that. And finally, okay, I'm going to bed. I'm getting slaughtered here, and I didn't expect that. All I want is for him to feel my pain. He cheated on me. Now I have to make the decision and leave him. I wanted him to feel the same. When he believes I cheated and he has to leave, that's all. If that makes me an a-hole, then I guess I'm an a-hole. I respect your verdict. Good night, everyone. Well, this next story up, the question is, am I the a-hole for not going to my brother's wedding because he said my daughter can't go? Well, that's a good one, and we definitely need your advice on this one. My Liz, she's 38. My daughter Lexi's 14. My brother Liam is 24. Got married last week, but messaged me saying my daughter Lexi could not come due to the fact she's under 18 and there was no children allowed. Now, I fully respect and understand that, but I messaged back telling them saying that my daughter is quiet and wouldn't be much of a problem. My daughter is autistic and is quiet, well-behaved, but extremely sensitive. She would have not been a problem would Liam have let her come. And I replied that he said that Lexi was still not allowed to come, and I respected his decision. But a few days later, I got a message off a family friend, Johnny's 28, asking if Lexi was going to the wedding, and I replied with no. Liam said no one under 18, and John, he replied back saying, that is bullcrap because his daughter Lillian, who's 13, is going. Straight after he messaged me, I rang Liam, and we had a back and forth argument until he finally admitted that he didn't want Lexi there due to her autism. So I hung up on him and didn't go to his wedding. I told my sister and a few of the guests, and they decided not to go too. So am I the a-hole? Let me give you an update. Now, my daughter used to have a lot of meltdowns, but as she entered her teenage years, she's been handling them very well. She starts to get uncomfortable. She leaves situations, and currently, she's laying next to me crying because she was so excited for the wedding and to see her new auntie and a pretty dress. It has been a week since the wedding, and she's still upset about it. He got her hopes up and didn't tell us until the very last minute that she couldn't come. I've seen a few comments saying that I haven't said the whole story, and it's my bad for not adding the details that my daughter is a level 2 autistic, 14-year-old girl. She used to have extreme meltdowns over the smallest things, but she handles it extremely well now. And Liam knows that as a week before the wedding, we all went out for lunch at a restaurant, and we all enjoyed it. I had already bought mine and my daughter's dresses. My daughter and I went out to get hair and nails done together for the wedding, and my brother didn't tell us until the next day before the wedding. And my daughter was extremely excited and happy, and we went out and bought her some makeup and eyelashes for me to help her put on for the wedding. And she was so excited, bless her heart. She did have a meltdown when I relayed the news to her from Liam, but she calmed down quickly. Also, I'm going to add my daughter has been to several weddings before and handled them well and enjoyed them. Sorry if my writing is bad. I'm not English. Let me give you an update. I read a few comments and realized I said after Liam told us, John texted us a few days later. What I meant is Liam told us at the last minute, and John texted us after. I'm not good with English or writing, and a few of you may think this is an excuse, but I promise it's not. I apologize for any confusion I've caused. Liz.